Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 10 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. Okay, so you can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password if provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to grade 10 math, and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. You can start with the chapter quadratic equations. The lessons we can talk about today are characteristics of quadratic equation, complete a function, table quadratic functions, graph quadratic functions in vertex form, transformations of quadratic functions. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Here I'm on grade 10 math. Chapter we are on right now is quadratic equation. Let's just start with the first lesson, that is characteristics of quadratic functions. Look at this function. What is the y-intercept of the function? Y-intercept is the point where the graph is touching the y-axis, right? So here the graph is passing through the origin, right? So y-intercept is 0, right? Y-intercept of a parabola is the y-coordinate of the point where the parabola intercepts the y-axis, right? Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Look at this graph. What is the y-intercept? Y-intercept is the point where graph is intersecting the y-axis, right? So graph is passing through the origin, right? So that means the y-intercept is 0. Option number 1 is the correct option, right? Look at this graph. What are the coordinates of the vertex? Coordinates of the vertex. Here is the point. Vertex is the maximum or minimum point of the parabola. So the minimum maximum point of this parabola is at the origin. That is 0 and 0. Option number 2 is the correct option. The correct option is 0, 0. Look at this graph. What is the equation of the axis of symmetry? So the axis of symmetry is the point, this point, right? So just match it to the x-axis. So this is the point that is the axis of symmetry, that is -3, right? So x equals -3. The equation of the axis of symmetry is x equals -3. Got it? So the correct option is option number 1, that is -3. Look at this graph. What is the minimum value of the function? So which is the correct option? The correct option is 0. Option number 1 is the correct option. Look at this graph. What is the coordinates of the vertex? So the coordinates of the vertex is the maximum or the minimum point of the parabola is the vertex, right? So this is the vertex. You have to find the coordinates. So match it to the x-axis. I think -4 it is. And match it to y-axis. So that is 8 and -4. Option number -4 and 8. The x coordinate is -4 and the y is 8. Option number 2 is the correct option. Got it? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is complete a function table quadratic function. So let's just start with the next lesson. Complete the table. F of c equals -c square. You are given the values of c. We need to find f of c, right? C equals -4, -2, 0, and 2. f of c is negative c square, right? So you need to put these values one by finding the function. The first value is c equals negative 4, so put negative 4 in the function. Replace the c with negative 4, so negative 4 square is 16. You already have a negative sign outside, so that is negative 16, right? Just put the second value, that is c equals negative 2. So negative 2 square is 4, so that is negative 4. The next one is you have to do the same. You need to put these values in the function. They are negative 16, negative 4, 0, and negative 4, right? Let's just start with the test questions. Complete the table. You are given f of r equals r square minus 5r. So you have the r 0, 1, 2, 3, right? So let's just put up the values, right? R equals 0, right? So f of 0 is 0 square minus 5 times 0, right? So that equals 0. The next one is r equals 1. Let's just put up the values, right? 1 square minus 5 times 1, right? 1 minus 5 is negative 4. So option number 2 is the correct option. That is negative 4, right? The next one is r equals to f of 2. 2 square minus 5 times 2. 2 square is 4. 4 minus 10 is negative 6. So here you have negative 6. The next one is f of 3. That is 3 square minus 5 of 3. 3 square is 9. 9 minus 15 is negative 6. So the correct option is option number 2, that is 0, 4, negative 6, and negative 6, right? Option number 2 is the correct option. That's the second option, right? Complete the table. So which is the correct option? Okay, so you are given the function 2q square. You are given the q negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. So let's just put up the values in the function and calculate f of q, right? That is q square, 2q square, q negative 1, 2 times negative 1 square. Negative 1 is negative 1 square is 1. 1 times 2 is 2, right? The next one is 0. 2 times 0 square is 0, so you have 0. The next one is 1. 2 times 1 square is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Then you have 2, 2 square. 2 square is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So the values are 2, 0, 2, and 8. Option number 2 is the correct option, right? If you have any questions related to the lesson, you can please ask. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. The correct option is option number 2, that is 2028. Complete the table. So which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 2 is the correct option. That is 101 and 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. Complete the table. F of q equals q square minus 1. So which is the correct option? Option number 2 is the correct option, right? That is 800 and 8. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is graph quadratic functions in vertex form. That's only tutorial, but let's just do these questions. They're very important. Graph the function f of x equals 3x squared. Okay, you need to write plot the vertex, then plot another point on the parabola. If you make a mistake, you can raise your parabola by selecting the second point and placing it on the top of first, right? So the vertex form of the first thing is you need to know the parabola, right? You are given the equation f of x equals 3x squared. You need to write it down as the, the equation of the parabola in vertex form is a times x minus a square and plus b, right? A and b is the parabola of the function, right? This a and b, they are the parabola of the function. Hold on, I think I did a mistake in this equation vertex form. Let me just confirm the vertex form of parabola. I forgot something. A times h and k is the parabola, right? The equation looks like this: a times x minus h whole square and plus k. So this h and k are the parabola of the this h and k are the vertex of the parabola, right? So in this case, the vertex is 0, 0, right? Because you are given only 3x squared. Now you need to look for another point on the parabola with integer or half integer coordinates. One such point is 1 and 3. You need another point. You need 2 points to make a parabola, right? So the other point is put x equals 1 in the function. So when you put x equals 1, y, 3, you have another point 1 and 3, right? Now you have 2 points, 0, 0, that is the vertex of the parabola, and 1, 3. So just use these 2 points and plot the parabola. Here is basically they made this parabola using some online tool to make the graph, right? So that use just 2 points, 0, 0, and 1, 3, and here is the parabola for this equation, right? That is f equals 3x squared. So basically, whenever you have to plot the parabola in the vertex form, you need two things: the vertex and another point. Yes, so just use the vertex and another point and plot the parabola. So for the next equation, you have f of x equals 8x squared. So again, in this case, you have the parabola is the vertex is 0, 0, and you have to use another point, that is x equals 1, y equals 8, but you are not given with the graph here. Okay, let's just move on to the next question because that's just a tutorial. The next lesson is transformations of quadratic functions. So let's just move on to next lesson. Find g of x where g of x is the translation 10 units up of f of x equals x squared. So translating a graph 10 units up is equivalent to the function's transformation f of x plus 10, right? So find f of x plus 10. G of x equals x squared, so that equals x squared plus 10. Transformations of the function are f of x plus h. H is translate h units left. F of x minus h translates h units right. F of x plus k translate k units up. F of x minus k translates k unit down. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. Find g of x where g of x is the translation 8 unit up of f of x equals x square. So you need to translate 8 unit up, right? So option number 1 is the correct option, that is x square plus 8. Find g of x where g of x is the translation. Okay, that's the same one. Find g of x where g of x is a translation 5 units up of f of x equals x square. So which is the correct option? Option number 1 is the correct option, that is x square plus 5. Option number 1 is the correct option. Find g of x where g of x is a translation 10 unit up of f of x equals x square. So which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 1, that is x square plus 10. Option number 1 is the correct option. Find g of x where g of x is the translation 3 units down of f of x equals x square. So which is the correct option? That is option number 2. X square minus 3. Option number 2 is the correct option. Find g of x where g of x is the translation 1 unit down of f of x equals x square. So which is the correct option? The correct option is option number, that is a translation 1 unit down. So option number 1 is the correct option. X square minus 1 is the Correct option. Find g of x where g of x is the translation 9 units down of f of x equals x square. So which is the correct option? The correct option is x square minus 9. Option number 1 is the correct option. Find g of x where g of x is the translation 5 unit down of f of x equals x square. So which is the correct option? The correct option is option number 2 is the correct option, that is x square minus 5. Find g of x where g of x is the translation 6 unit down of f of x equals x square. The correct option is option number 2 is the correct option, right? X square minus 6 is the correct option. Find g of x where g of x is the translation 4 unit down of f of x equals x square. So which is the correct option? The correct option is f of x equal x square minus 4. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 10 math. The chapter we were working on is quadratic functions. The lessons we have covered today are characteristics of quadratic functions, complete a function table, quadratic functions, graph quadratic functions in vertex form, and transformations of quadratic functions. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session, right? So if you need more help with any of the lesson, you can simply click on the live chat button. Here it is. Tutors are available there to help you. Or either you can write down the question in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. So you can please write down the questions in the chat box for which you need help.